All right. All right. Praise the Lord. Can you guys hear me? Let me see in the comment section. Let me see something in the comment section that you guys can hear me. Please put a comment in there. Yes, we can hear you, so that I know that I'm audible. Please say something in the comment section for me so that I know that I'm audible and you guys can hear me. Please say something for me in the comment section. Let me know that I'm audible and I can be heard, or I am being heard. All right. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Cyber Evangelism class. This is good. It's going to be a class. Okay. All right. So I see one comment here. Say yes. Okay. Great. All right. So, we invite somebody. Let's push this broadcast to our, church, the local assemblies platforms. Let's invite everybody to come. Let's get started here. There's so much for us to learn. There's a lot for us to learn. All right. I see external comment. Yes, we can hear you. All right. Great. It's great that I'm audible. It's great that, I'm audible and you guys can hear me. So that's good. We're going to be talking about cyber evangelism tonight. All right. So invite somebody. Let your assembly, your local assembly, your members, if you're a youth teacher, if you're an evangelism leader, if you're a pastor, if you're a teacher of the word, gospel, wherever you're watching us from, whether from YouTube, Facebook, wherever, welcome everybody, welcome, guys. Invite somebody. I'm gonna get started in about a minute. So invite somebody here. Let's get started. Invite someone. Let's get started. Welcome everybody. Welcome. All right. So
Everybody.
my co-pilot calling to where is here.
Yeah.
My co-pilot here calling to where is here. All right. Now I know that I'm not sitting here all by myself, right? I got a company. Who else wants to join us here? Let me invite somebody. Who else wants to join us here? Just say hi. If I have your number, I'm going to send you an invite link so you can join us so that we have companies tonight to talk, right?
Yeah.
Or let me post this link in the YouTube comment section, and then whoever wants to join us, just click on the link and join us here because we're going to have fun. All right. So let's give 1 more minute. Once it's 8:10, we're gonna go ahead and get started. There's no time to waste. We have just only 1 hour, right, to get through this. And then of course there's gonna be Q&A session, right? There's gonna be Q&A session, question and answer session. So welcome everybody. Welcome guys. Welcome to the Cyber Evangelism 101, right? 101. Cyber Evangelism 101. The goal here is that we want to be able to democratize the gospel through technology. We want to make sure that the gospel is accessible to everyone, right? Regardless of your location, regardless of your ethnicity, your background, regardless of who you are, what nationality you bear, it doesn't matter, right? Our goal here is to democratize. We want to bring democracy in here. So yeah, the gospel is not for a selected few people, right? It is not a privilege of a selection, right? It's not for just a few people. All right. So, all right, it's already 8:10. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. So thank you all for coming again. This is the Cyber Evangelism. This is a Cyber Evangelism Class 101. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Edda Collins, do you want to pray for us real quick, and they'll get a short prayer? Let's go ahead.
Yes. Father, in the name of Jesus, I want to thank you for the opportunity to gather in your presence. As you commanded us to go into the world to propagate the gospel, we are bringing this program together to be able to train, oh God, people to be able to go out there to make known your name. We pray that you reign in our midst tonight, that whatever we're going to discuss will not fall on deaf ears, but people will be able to be receptive to the word, able to put them into action so that the word will spread out there to the glory of your name. We thank you in Jesus' name how we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you. All right. All right. So thank you very much for that quick, inspiring, prayer. So thank you. So let's go ahead and start. So we're dealing with the subject cyber evangelism, and our goal here is that we want to be able to talk about things so that the church, how the church can thrive, we can do well with the assignment that was given to us first by Jesus, and then the assignment that we have as a church to be able to go all out and then win souls for Christ, right? We want to be able to go all out and win souls for Christ. So how the church can thrive using digital technology to democratize the gospel. I believe I'm one of the few people, maybe there's a lot of myself, a lot of people just like myself out there, but I think I have a position, a very strong position, that if this gospel is going to get to the ends of the world, I don't think we will be able to go to every village, every remote area, every deprived community. But I believe that God, in His wisdom, from the foundations of the world, from the very beginning, knew, foresaw that for a time will come that we will have, from the wisdom He has given to us, we will be able to produce things like technology, internet, right? And by so doing, when we have the internet, we'll be able to even get the assignment that He has given to us done in a better way. And so I'm one of the few people who believe that, yes, technology is of God, internet is of God, because he looked at this way ahead of time, and he already knew that we're not going to be able to get to every village, every town, every country, everywhere, and be able to deliver the gospel. But wherever that the people are, wherever they have access to internet, we are sure that the gospel will reach them. And so cyber evangelism is all about how we can democratize the gospel, how we can make the gospel accessible to everyone. It doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, it doesn't matter the nation that you live in, it doesn't matter the community, the city, whatever. But we want to make sure that we can democratize the gospel, take the gospel to the ends of the world. All right, let's get going. So this is going to be our roadmap for tonight. We're going to talk about who is an evangelist, the world Christians, statistics, that we have, right? Very important for us to consider that. We'll talk about traditional methods and its limitation, right? Traditional methods and its limitations. And then we'll talk about what is cyber evangelism at all. What are we talking about when we say cyber evangelism? What do we mean by that, right? And then, we're getting deep dive into the power of the internet and social media and why digital evangelism is necessary. We'll talk about who is a cyber evangelist, right? All of us, we'll find out very soon the types of cyber evangelists out there. And then we will also get down into digital evangelism platforms, and then platform examples and strategies. And then I will talk about something I call the message and the medium, right? And then we will be wrapping up very soon with borderlessness, technocracy, the benefit of digital and cyber evangelism, and then the ABC of salvation. All right. Does it sound good? Does it sound like a good plan, a good roadmap for us tonight? All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's read the scripture. We all know the scripture. This is going to be our key anchor scripture. This is the basis for everything that we do as Christians, as believers, right? When you read Matthew 28, verse 19. So Matthew chapter 28, verse 19, what does the Bible say? Bible or the scripture says that, go ye therefore and teach all nations, right? Teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all. So we know already ahead here, right now, that there is a commandment. We have been asked, we have been sent out there. We are supposed to go to all the nations. But can we go to all the nations? Can we get to every city? Can we get to every town, every rural area, communities? Are we going to be able to go over there? And then there's another scripture, Matthew 24, verse 14. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So, when you look at this, I'm tempted to say that, until everybody hears this, the end might not come. So how would everybody hear this and then the end will come, right? I think that, cyber evangelism is going to be one of the maybe the key drivers, the key tools that we'll have to deploy for the message and then the gospel to get out there. Uh-huh. And then, of course, we all have this power. Acts 1 verse 8. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. So when the power comes, the power is able to give us the wisdom, the advantage. We're able to come out with, solutions such as, cyber stuff as well. So we have received it, and we will use it as key witnesses, for this message. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
There is a gentleman called Matthew Crates. He said something that I love. There's a quote here from this gentleman that I love so much. He said something over here. He said that with all our education, right? He said, with all our education, our fine buildings, our image of the church, we are doing less to win people to Christ than our unschooled forefathers did. And then we are no longer fishers of men. He said something very profound here, but it's also very instructive as well. He said, we are no longer fishers of men, but we are keepers of what? The aquarium. And we spend most of our time swiping fish from each other's bowl. So one person moved from one church bowl to the other church bowl. So one person moved from this church and they come to this church. But meanwhile, the people are out there. There are so many people are out there that we can talk to. We can preach the gospel to, right? But I believe one of the ways that will even make it very easy for us to, get to that point is even cyber, the internet, technology. I think this is going to help us. But this quote is a quote that if you're a Christian, if you're a true believer, you will not read this quote and then go to bed, with a happy face or with a smiling face, and you're going to have a sound sleep, because if our unschooled forefathers, they were able to do more, then how about us today that we have all the advantage? We have all the technology. We have all these tools, around us. If we are not even using them, then that means, we are not doing well in essence, right? That means we are not, doing well. We are not really doing well. So hopefully by the end of this presentation, we'll be able to do more for the kingdom and for God's. We'll be able to do more. All right, let's go ahead. So who is an evangelist? So who is an evangelist? We have the commandment that says, go ye therefore, teaching all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all. Who is an evangelist? I think that all Christians, without no equivocation, we no titles, presiding elders, church leader, pastor, prophet, etc. All of us, we all have the same mandate, and that mandate is enshrined in the Great Commission, right? That mandate is enshrined in the Great Commission. That mandate is enshrined in the Great Commission. Guys, if you have not shared this broadcast, please do that. Put it on Facebook, share it everywhere. Let somebody see this. So this one will help them. I'm doing it right now that we are live. I forgot to put it out on Facebook that we are live. Please do that right now. We want to put it out there that we are live. Okay, so we all have the Great Commission assignment. We all, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a prophet, whether you're a lawyer, an accountant, whether you are a nurse, a politician, we all, because that's what the Bible says. They say, go ye therefore. He didn't say, go ye elders, go ye apostles, go ye teachers of the gospel, go ye pastors, or presiding elders, or deacons. He said, go ye everybody. This is the mandate for every Christian out there. So we all have the same mandate. We all have the same Great Commission assignment, right? And a lot of times when we talk about evangelism, we always want to sort of, exonerate ourselves and look at the people who are unemployed in our church, those people who have time. We want to think that, the people that have time, they are the people that are supposed to be out there, doing the work of evangelism. But that is not so, right? That should not be the case. We should not, take ourselves out of the work. Even if we contribute, even if our money, we should be able to do it. And how we can do it, even if we are contributing money, is through technology. We should be able to even do it, even with technology, because you don't know who is going to be reading your status, who is going to be, watching that word, who's going to be seeing whatever you put out there, through the power of the internet. So your money cannot exonerate you and say that, let's call, maybe Richard, Richard, maybe Abankwa, or let's call Mr. XYZ, because he's the one that lost his job not too long ago. So he's the one that can go. No, we can't do that. The work of the Great Commission is a work for all of us, right? It is all of us, our collective effort, our collective work. So let's take note of that. Okay, all right, let's go start. Let's get going. Let's look at this, statistics over here. So I put this stats that is from 2020. This is from the World Evangelization, right? This is a very staggering. We have some staggering numbers over here. If you look at this number, I'm really interested in the right side over here. When you look at the world population, you'll begin to see the breakdown, the percentages. As you guys can see, we have 10% of 0.77 billion people who are Christ followers, and we have 23% of 1.7 billion people who are nominal Christian adherents, and then we have 39%, that is 3 billion people who have heard the word, right? So this 3 billion people, yes, they have heard the word, but they have not responded yet. And then we have 28% of the world population at that time, 2.16 billion, virtually no exposure. This number here, I'm using my mouse pointer to point so you guys can see it on your screen. That is huge. And when you look at the world population over here, we can see that 57.4% are rich people groups. That means we have reached them whether they've heard something about the gospel. And then we have 42.6%. This is a huge number of the world's population. Almost, half of the world population. They have never heard of anything. So that means we have a lot of work to do, if you're looking at this. And this is very important, right? We don't just want to get out there that we are doing evangelism. We need to know where the people are. We need to do a target or data-driven kind of, approach, right? We don't just want to be carried out by emotional, let's go out and do evangelism. But we need to know exactly where we need to reach these people, right, with this message. And this is very important. This is very, very important that we do this. Now, let's look at the traditional methods of evangelism and its limitation, right? Now, in other places around the world, we have something we call open air. This is very common in Africa. This is very common in where I come from, Ghana, wherever you're watching us from, right? So open air rallies are very common, and there are some other methods over here. But all these methods, they have their own limitations, as per their location and jurisdiction. Open air rally, for instance, typically when you go to a place like Ghana, and you go to if you're driving by a car station or an area where they have a small space, over there, you might see people gather over there, or maybe a lorry park, a car station, like a bus terminal, what we call here in America, right? You see people gathered there, and they're having open air, maybe preaching or rally, as we call it. Now, how many people are going to be coming to that bus terminal? What about people who drive their own car? And if they have not heard the gospel, they've never heard anything about Jesus, does that mean that they will never hear this? Right? So it has its limitations right there. Door to door, there are places that you cannot even go over there, because when you use America here as an example, even here this place that we live as an example, there are places that they will tell you that no solicitation, right? No solicitation. That means you cannot even go over there and say, I've come, I want to come and share the gospel with you. Right? You cannot just, appear from nowhere and you just go and knock at their door that, my friend, hey, who is there? We want to come and share the message with you. Because even right at their gate, right at their very entrance, they have, they have all these, messages out there, no solicitation. So that means you cannot even do over there. Well, one of the things that I encountered when I first came to America and I was doing this job, we used to sell home alarms. You know, all these home alarms that you see. That's a popular company. I don't want to mention the name. And I was working for one of these companies. You know, when I first came to America, and then I happened to go around a certain neighborhood, certain home, and you know, as somebody very new, very fresh from Ghana, I thought, you know, I could just go and knock at people's door and just say, "I've come to sell alarm." I'm come to sell home alarm. This person opened the door and said, "If I don't get up from his property, he's going to shoot me." And I'm like, "What? I just came here to." For me, I'm just a hungry kid from Africa. I'm just here to do Allah like a cry, you know, just something small. And he told me that to get up from his property, and he was yelling, he was shouting, he was telling me to get up from his property, other than he's going to shoot me. I'm like, oh, I just came here to just sell, you know, you know, to sell home alarms, something small for your boy to eat.
Nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing more. So there are limitations. The point I'm trying to say is that this traditional method that you see out here, what I have here, as you know, the check boxes here, open air preaching, door to door, evangelism through sermon, lifestyle evangelism, creative evangelism, friendship evangelism, radio evangelism, tele evangelism, phone evangelism, personal evangelism, using track, etc. There's so many others. They all have, you know, what limitations, right? They all have limitations. That is a traditional method. They all have limitations. But let's look at the internet, you know, type of evangelism. What is the internet, you know, type of evangelism? What do we mean when we say internet evangelism? So there's a scripture that I love, right? And you know, it's in Matthew 9, verse 16 to 18. That scripture says that, you know, and no one puts new wine into old wine skins, right? No one puts new wine into old wine skins. For the old skins will burst from the pressure, spailing the wine and ruining the skins. New wine is stored in new wine skins so that both are preserved, right? So Matthew 19, 9, verse 16 to 18. This is very clear. This is very instructive. I don't know if you have to explain this, but let me just use 1 minute, right? So this means that the traditional methods that we are used to, we are not saying that they are bad. We are not saying that they are not of any use right now. But when times are changing, when you know there are new discoveries, new inventions, society, how we live, etc., our social stratifications are changing. There's, you know, dynamisms in all this front. We also need to be adaptable. We cannot say that, oh no, this is what our fathers did. They did open rallies, so that's what we can also do. No, when time changes, we also need to change. Yeah. So I look at this scripture and I said, let me use this scripture over here. And we need to be able to understand. So as we're trying to, you know, let people hear the gospel using the old methods that are not maybe relevant to this generation, you know, it's like forcing an old wineskin into a new wine. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. And so we need to be adaptable, right? We need to be adaptable. You know, so the question is, can we continue to use the traditional or old, you know, methods? Certainly, right? Certainly, we can use them. We can use them, but we must not be ignorant of the times. We must not be ignorant of how things are being done in our current world. That is the point I'm trying to make here, right? That's the point I'm trying to make here. So, cyber evangelism, what is it? So cyber evangelism basically means that, you know, is strategically using the internet, mobile, and social media platforms to meet the needs of others and share the gospel with the online world. Can I take that one more time? So cyber or digital evangelism is strategically using the internet, our mobile phones, and our social media that we have platforms to meet the needs of others and share the gospel with the online world. So we are not reinventing anything. It is not any new thing. It's the tools that we already have. The same cell phone that you have been using to take picture, that same cell phone is what we're going to be using. We're going to be deploying, right? It's the same tools, the same platform that we are on. I cannot think of anybody who is here watching me that you are not on any platform. You're on YouTube right now watching me. That means you have an encounter one way or the other with some social media platform. You're watching me on Facebook, right? If you're watching Facebook, that means you're on social media platforms. That means we will strategically use the internet that we have, the mobile phones that we have, and then the social media platforms that we are already on to meet the needs of others and then share the gospel with the online world. That is basically what cyber evangelism means, right? Now, there is power in the internet. The internet is very powerful, guys. The internet, the social media that we have is a powerful tool. I want somebody to comment in there. See, this is an interactive session. I want somebody to type in the comment section on YouTube, wherever Facebook, say powerful. I want somebody to type, internet is powerful. I want somebody to type in there. Guys, everybody, I want everybody. This is a very interactive session, right? I want to make sure that you guys didn't fall asleep on me, and I'm not here talking to myself. You guys are with me tonight. All right, let's go. So go ahead, put in the comment section. Internet is powerful. Put it in there. Powerful. Somebody say powerful. Good. I see it in here. Come on, guys. Everybody, everyone. I want everyone to put it in there. I see 14 people watching us from YouTube. I can see it from my screen over here. I want somebody to put in there. The internet is powerful. I see it from Comfort. Comfort, thank you. All right. So Comfort say internet is powerful. Somebody, come on, guys. I see 14 people. Internet is powerful. Come on, let's go. I want everybody to type in there. See, this is an exercise that, in the end, we'll talk about it. That is how, social media works. When you say comment is a powerful tool. We'll come to this, one of the pillars. Comment. I want you guys to comment. Your ability to comment, that means you are ready to use, the internet to do cyber evangelism. So comment in there and say, the internet is powerful. I want everyone to type in, the internet is powerful. The internet is powerful. The internet is powerful. Yes, I see it there. The internet is powerful. Internet is powerful, guys. Internet is powerful. Everybody, I want everybody to type in there. The internet is powerful. So the internet is a very powerful tool. The power of the internet and social media. We read, breaking news from where? From the internet. When there is a new news, when there is something new out there, whether it is good or bad, that is where, we get it first. News, right? News. Shopping. We do shopping. So O2 also say internet is powerful. Thank you. Everybody, I want everybody to comment. Your ability to comment, that means you are following, right? You are following me. So I want everybody. This is a very interactive session. Guys, this is a very interactive session. So go ahead and comment under the broadcast and say, internet is powerful. Internet is very powerful. All right, let's get going. So we use the internet for what? Reading news, breaking news, right? For shopping, for trading. We get things from the market. With the internet is very powerful. It's used for what? Connecting people, right? Connecting our world. Hitherto, before now, if you were here and then you wanted to, maybe connect with your family, maybe in Nigeria, maybe in Zimbabwe, in Rwanda, and maybe in Ghana, in everywhere, in Ivory Coast, in India, wherever you're watching me from, any part of the world. Hitherto, you would have to find a letter, write something, take pictures of yourself, go and print the pictures, put the pictures in an envelope, right? And then go to the post office, get a stamp, mail it, and then you mail it to your family. And then when your family receive the letter back home, wherever they are, they look at the open letter, everybody's excited. The whole family comes around. They look at your new picture and say, hey, Akwasi has grown. Oh, yes, he's looking fine. That was then. That was how we were connecting. But today, it's very easy. How many of us, when was the last time that you bought like a call card? First when we came over here, we were buying call cards. If you have to call. But today, with advancement of technology, WhatsApp, etc., and others, you can connect with people. So internet is used what? Connecting people. That is very important. That is key. And then we have making friends. And then even dating and finding love. People get married every day on the internet, right? People get married. That is our world. That is another sphere. One day, I think I said it. I put it out on Facebook that maybe, the internet is maybe the 8th planet or the 9th planet, whichever the number of planets that we have. That's another planet. That's another world that we live in. right? Or maybe another continent. We can add the internet as another continent because it's where people also meet, and they are able to what? They find love, they get married. So that means the internet is very powerful. What are some of the things that we use for the internet? Well, learning, education. We learn every day on the internet, right? We learn. Comic relief, right? If you're trying to find something to, as a comic relief, comedy or whatever, that is where we get it. Celebrating life's milestone. We celebrate life milestone on the internet every day, right? Every day on the internet. So the internet is a very powerful tool. You can think about it like this way. The internet is basically life, right? The internet is basically life. That means everything about life, we get it done on the internet. We get everything basically about life, get down into it. That makes the internet a powerful tool, a very powerful tool that we cannot ignore, right? The internet is a very powerful tool that we can't ignore, the power of the internet. And as even Christians, this is even more important, that we cannot just rub it under the carpet somewhere and say, no, this is not for us. No, the internet is for us. We cannot ignore it. And we cannot be ignorant about it. You cannot be naive and ignorant about it as well. So the internet is very powerful. The internet is very, very powerful. All right. So let's look at some interesting statistics here. Let's look at how the internet is very powerful, right? What makes the internet very powerful? Can you guess what happens in the last 6 seconds? As I was speaking, can you guess what has happened in the last 60 seconds as I was just even speaking right now? Right? 1 million people log onto Facebook. The last 60 seconds, just the 60 seconds. 6 seconds is what? 1 minute. Just 1 minute ago, 1 million people has logged onto Facebook. And even more than that, right? 3.8 million searches were made on Google. Just the last 60 seconds. Just the last 60 seconds. Guys, this is huge. This is huge, guys. We cannot ignore this. This is so huge. This is so huge, right? This is so huge. In the last seconds, just last seconds, 3.8 million searches. People are searching on the internet. That means there's a lot of people on the internet that we cannot ignore. So if we really want to reach out to people with the gospel, then we should be targeting the internet. Because if there are a lot of people like that online, then that should be our target, not the car station and the lorry station. If 3.8 people are on the online, then that should be our target. 4.5 million videos were viewed on YouTube. I'm just going to put my hands. I'm going to cross my hands over my head. This is interesting, right? This is big, guys. 4.5 million videos, just the last 60 seconds. That means in 1 minute, 4.5 million videos are being viewed. And 965,000 users were scrolling on Instagram. So there are 965,000 people scrolling up and down on Instagram. And there are so many accounts and platforms like that where there's a lot of activities going on, right? There's a lot of activities going on. But I'm curious to know how many of those people, about the 1 million people who have logged on to Facebook, about the 3.8 million searches that have been made on Google, about 4.5 million videos that have been viewed on YouTube, and 965,000 users scrolling on Instagram in every 60 seconds, in every minute. How many of these views and searches and people log on, etc., is about the kingdom? It's about Jesus. This is where we need to sit down. We need to have a sit down conversation on this. This is critical. This is very, very important, right? So these statistics should motivate us, should drive us that, hey, then we are missing out. If all these numbers, all these people, all these guys, all these people are doing this on the internet at this point in time, then we are really missing out. We need to take advantage of this, right? We need to really take advantage of this, right? So why digital evangelism? There are approximately 8 billion people in the world, right? There are approximately 8 billion people in the world. 4 billion of them use the internet. 4 billion out of the 8 billion people in the world use the internet. And 3 billion are on social media, right? 3 billion, they are connected. You can see the signal over here, right? You know, you can see the world map and the signal. I put it down for a reason. The signal over here, that means they are connected. About 3 billion are connected. That was social media. Digital evangelism will help us spread the gospel into all this world at a rate we never could have imagined before. That means, you know, if we were going to make the digital space the platform, the place where we will sort of, you know, push the kingdom agenda out there, we will reach a lot of people. You know, we will reach a lot of people, you know, with the gospel. You know, we will reach a lot, so many. We'll reach so many people with the gospel. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about this, right? Now, Vincent, you know, Vincent Donovan, you know, he made a very statement. He made this very good statement, and I love it. He says, you know, evangelization is a process of bringing the gospel to people where they are, not where you would like them to be. So anytime we think about evangelism or others, you know, we will want to, you know, think about it this way, that the people will be at this place. No, but you know, if we truly want to, you know, get done with this business of evangelism, that means we need to send it to them where they are. And how can we get it to them where they are? You know, in all the remote areas in the world, all the deprived communities in the world. I believe that the internet is going to be a powerful tool. It's going to be a powerful force in us sending this message, sending this gospel, you know, out there. This is very, very important. And so, Vincent, you know, Donovan, I think this is a great statement. This is a profound statement, right? So, who is a cyber evangelist? Who is a cyber evangelist, guys? Who is a cyber evangelist? Who is a cyber evangelist? So, a cyber evangelist is individuals who purposefully, right, and strategically use the modern devices. They use all the tools that we have, the same tools that we have, right? Use the tools that we have, the modern digital devices, to share the gospel with internet users. So when we say somebody is a cyber evangelist, that means strategically and purposefully you are using your smartphone, you are using the same device that you have, you are using the same equipment, whatever you have, and you are using it to do what? To preach the gospel, to reach out to many with what? The gospel. That is, you know, who a cyber evangelist is, right? Sharing the gospel online is more than just broadcasting our services online. And a lot of times, you know, we want to think about it this way, that, you know, when we have our Sunday services, etc. Yes, once in a while, somebody might, you know, hop on and then maybe watch our services maybe for the first time because maybe somebody shared the link, etc. But we have to be deliberate about how we can do this. The online missionary work seeks out ways to meet the needs of the people. So when we talk about cyber evangelism, we are very intentional. We are very deliberate about, you know, wanting to meet the needs of the people online, thereby making the gospel something that is practical and very relevant. And so there are so many ways that we're going to be talking about, you know, how we can meet their specific needs, not just like one size fit all approach. Let's broadcast, you know, our service, Sunday morning service, and assuming it's going online, that means we are meeting the needs of everybody. No, there are specific needs, and we need to be able to understand the specific needs of the people so we can what? Meet them, right? We can meet them. And cyber evangelist, somebody who will purposefully and strategically say that this is what the need, this is the need of the people out there. So let's reach out to them. So let's look at the types of cyber evangelists that are out there, right? Cyber evangelists are out there. I'm not going to have time to go through all this and explain them very well, but you guys will get it, right? So a cyber or digital evangelist, you know, you fall into one of these, you know, categories, right? So one of these categories out there. So when you say somebody is a cyber evangelist or, you know, a digital evangelist, you will definitely fall into one of these, you know, categories. You definitely fall into one of these categories. So if you're a cyber evangelist or digital evangelist, that means number one, you can fall into the category of a creator, right? That means you are somebody who deliberately you create Christian content, right? You create Christian content, you know, deliberate. You know, you have taken upon yourself that maybe every Sunday, every week, every maybe once in a month or something, or maybe twice in a week, or once in a day, you create something, right? So you fall into one of these categories. You are a creator. That means you create, Christian content. That is one type of what? A cyber evangelist. The number two type of cyber evangelist is a distributor. So somebody, you don't necessarily have to create it. You can say that, oh, Nana, but me, I'm shy. I cannot, I want to do it, but maybe I don't have the courage, to do it. We are praying for you that you have the courage, but you can be the number two. That means you are the distributor. So that when people produce it, when people put this kind of materials together, you will what? Ship it out. You will distribute it to your friends. You will share it to your friends, your contact. You put it on your statuses on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, and other places. You put it everywhere. That is the number two type of what? The cyber evangelist. That means you're what? A distributor, right? You are a distributor. So you don't necessarily have to put camera in front of you if you're a shy person, like myself, right? if you if you if you are a shy person like myself, and you don't want to put a camera in front of your face and be out there like myself, you can distribute. You can be the distributor, right? You can share to people. And then the third type of cyber evangelist or digital evangelist is the engager, right? So the engager, somebody who will, when the message is put out there, will be engaging it, will be commenting, right? That means you'll be commenting, you'll be liking it, you will love it. That is the engager. You need to engage it. When somebody puts something Christian, whatever material out there, whatever, don't just sit down and say, okay, he's the one that is doing his thing. No, he's not the one that's doing his thing. We are all cyber evangelists. So it's either I'm the one that is creating it. If you're not the one creating it, then distribute it, forward it, share it, right? If you're not doing the sharing and forwarding, then engage it, right? You can love it, comment on it. This is powerful. This is something. All these things are very important. So the engager, right? The engager is also another type of what? Cyber evangelist. So hopefully, if you are here tonight, you're beginning to. I want you to be able to pick where you fall, in which one of these categories do you want to maybe do more in that area. Would you want to start creating a content, creating something every day, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week? It goes out every morning at maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, or 12 p.m. without fail, right? You are into creation. And creation is very big. We can talk about it maybe some other time. How you can prepare, plan, strategize, and then be a creator in that space. I think when time permits, maybe some other time we can talk about it, where I can help people come into that space, create their own channels, YouTube channels, and other platforms where they will use for some of these things that we are talking about. But these are the types of what? Digital or cyber evangelists that are out there. So either you're a creator, either you're a distributor, or an engager. All right, let's go to the next one. So for all these things to happen and to be able to work well, right? To be able to work well, there are pillars. There are things that makes it, work. Without these, cyber evangelism is not going to work, right? Without the 4 things that I've commented, I've written that down here, they're not going to work. Number one, of course, the obvious: pray, right? We need to pray for the salvation of souls. We need to pray for people out there. We because Scripture says that it is the Holy Spirit that does the work of conviction. Of course, somebody has to be out there, but Bible says that if somebody don't go out there to tell them, how would they believe, and how would they receive the gospel, and how would they come to God, how would they come to His saving grace? Somebody got to go out there. But the real work of conviction, is done by the Holy Spirit. It's not done by us. So even as we go out there to sow the seeds, in the heart of people, or on this line, we put it out there. We trust in the Holy Spirit to do the work of the conviction. So definitely we need to pray. That falls into what? Prayer, right? So definitely the pillar of cyber evangelism or digital evangelism, if it's going to be successful, or we're going to have some success at this, that means number one, we need to pray. Number two, how this work out there is to like, right? How this work out there is to what? Like it. It's to like it. When we say this, you might look at it as very trivial, but it is how the technologies have been built, right? When somebody, work on a content on, let's say, YouTube, right? The more likes that broadcast get. So, for instance, this broadcast that we are broadcasting right now on YouTube as you're watching it. If you like it, there is a button over there on YouTube. I believe so. I believe there's a button over there on YouTube that is like, yes, there's a like button. There's like a thumbs up button over there. Do you know that the more thumbs up that it gets, the more YouTube will show this content to other people? When you begin to like it, when you begin to like the broadcast, the algorithm, the technology algorithm, it works this way. When people are looking for similar content, similar Christian content, whatever, it will begin to show them, right? It will begin to, sort of, I'm looking for a technology word over here to say, oh, it has escaped me right now. But the more you like something, right? That is how the algorithm work. The algorithm does not work because we just have a service and then we just put it out there. But when you are liking it, the more you are liking it, the more it will start showing in the feed of others, right? So have you guys noticed that when you start watching maybe a finance video, right, or any other video, maybe like if you're from Ghana or Nigeria or wherever you're watching me, if you start watching a certain kind of music, have you seen that very soon you begin to see a lot of such musics in your YouTube? It's not because you have searched for it. You didn't search for it, but that's how the algorithm technology works, right? So the more you watch such content, the more you like such content, the more they will think, the technology will begin to think. It is learning your behavior pattern, right? It's beginning to learn your behavior pattern. And then when it learns your behavior pattern, this guy, he likes watching maybe Ghana gospel music. Very soon, when you go on YouTube, you begin to see a lot of similar Ghana gospel music over there. You did not tell YouTube that you want more, but they know from what you are watching, right? So the more you are watching, the more you are liking. That is how the algorithm, technology algorithm work. So guys, if we're going to take our cyber evangelism also serious, then that means Christian broadcasts out there, Christian content out there, we gotta like it. The more we like, the more such content will be distributed to other people in their feed, right? For them also to watch. And then number 3, this is a big one: share. I hope you guys have heard about, there's a popular phrase right now: share the link, right? I have a picture coming up on the next screen. Share the link. If you're not sharing the link, you are not doing well. I have some pastors, and I like them because they understand it. They understand how this works. They understand how technology works. So even in the prayer time, even when there's an intensive prayer going, they say, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and share the link. Share the link right now. Share the link. Because that is how the algorithm works, right? That's how the algorithm works. The algorithm does not work because you showed up online to pray. If you want to reach out to thousands, to millions of people, you got to share the broadcast. If we are not sharing the broadcast, we cannot reach out to the many souls that we want to touch. We cannot enter the hearts of people with the gospel if we are not sharing the broadcast. So it's imperative. It's important, guys. It's important if we really want to distribute. We want to get this message out there. Then it's more than important, more than necessary, for us to, share the broadcast, share the link out there. So share is very important, but sharing is a pillar when it comes to cyber evangelism. Cyber. So some of these broadcasts that we know that they are doing well, it is not for any reason, but why? Because they emphasize on sharing. They emphasize on sharing. I want you guys to comment over there. Share. Let me know that you guys are with me. Nobody, fell asleep on me. You guys are not falling asleep on me, right? Put in a comment for me. Share. I told you guys this is a very interactive session. So go ahead and type in the comment section, share, 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 share. Everybody, come on. Everybody, please go ahead. Go ahead and put in the comment section, share, share, share for me. Share the link. I see one. All right, who else? Share. All right, Comfort also says share. Everybody, please go ahead and put in the comment section, share, share. That is how it works, guys. Share, share. Everybody, everyone, please go ahead. I'm waiting. There are about 14 people also watching us. I'm seeing over here on my screen, watching from YouTube. So go ahead and share. I want you to comment. I want everybody to comment, share. I want everyone to comment, share the link. I want everybody to comment. I want everyone to comment, share. That is how it works, guys. That is how it works. That is how it works. These are the pillars of what? Cyber or digital evangelism. Of course, we have to pray. We need to like it. We need to share. And then we need to comment. We need to comment on it. So that is how the technology algorithm works, right? You might not know it because it's not visible to the ordinary eyes, but that is how it has been coded. So that, when you are sharing, the more you are sharing, the more they will distribute that content to other people. And it's not because they requested for it. You don't have to request for it, but they will share it to them. That is how the algorithm, sort of works. So the pillars of digital evangelism or the pillars of cyber evangelism, this is very important. If you are not liking, if you're not sharing, you are not commenting, there is no way that we'll be able to reach out to many souls. Can you imagine that I have maybe 100 friends, and if I just want to share something to these 100 friends, I think all that I'm going to do is to share it to the 100 friends that I have. But can you imagine that if I'm Collins, my co-pilot here, if Collins also shared the same broadcast to his friends as well, and Collins maybe have 200 friends, how many in total people do we think we will reach? This is a very small math that I want us to do. I want us to put in the comment section. This is a very interactive session, right? I have 100 friends. When I broadcast and I share it to my 100 friends, and then Collins also have 200 friends, and Collins shared the same broadcast to his 200 friends. How many in total people are we reaching? Please put it in the comment section for me. Let's go, guys. Let's go. How many people are we reaching so far? My 100 friends and the 200 friends of Collins. How many people in total? How many people in total are we reaching now? How many people in total are we reaching? How many people in total? Somebody put in a comment section for me. 300, right? 300. Somebody else. Okay, all right, good. 300. That means we are reaching out to 300 people. So it is no longer going to be my 100 friends. It is no longer going to be my what? 100 friends. It is no longer going to be my 100 friends. I'm not just reaching out to my 100, but I'm reaching out to the 200 friends in addition from Collins' side, right? So I have 100 friends, and Collins also have 200 friends. Combined, we are reaching out to 300. So can you imagine that Comfort also is coming in with another 100 friends, and Comfort also share to another 100 friends as well, right? How many people are we reaching to? 400 people. Can you imagine that? Mama Monica. Mama Monica is also sharing to her contact 200 friends as well. We have reached out to 600 people. So that is how the power of these pillars work. When you share, that means we are able to reach out to as many people as possible, right? We are able to reach out to the homes, to the hearts of souls out there, a lot of them, right? We're able to do that. So without praying, without liking, without sharing, without commenting, cyber evangelism or digital evangelism is not going to be able to work, right? It's not going to be able to work. So we need these pillars, in there to work for us, right? Other than that, then we cannot do much. So this is why some of the platforms that we know, when I put a name, we all know we all know this this pastor, right? We all know this pastor, right? Oh, can I get a yes in the comment? Do we know this pastor? Do we know this minister of the gospel? Yes. What is his name? I want somebody to type the name for me.
Reverend Ajimai or something. Pastor Ajimai.
What is the name? What is the name, guys? What is the name? Pastor Elvis Ajimai, right? Is it Elvis Ajimai of Alpha Hour fame? How come? How are they able to reach, 25,000 people? How are they able to reach, 30,000 people at one prayer session? How are they able to do that, guys? How are they able to reach 25,000, 35,000 people praying at the same time, 15,000 people on YouTube praying at the same time? Is it because Pastor Ajiman is going around at that time in the night at 12 a.m., knocking on the doors of people and say that, hey, it's time for us to pray, time for us to pray? No. Why? Because people are sharing their link. People are sharing their broadcast to their friends. They are sharing to their contact. And so when we begin to share, that is how the numbers can, then we all pray together. I love it, right? 15,000 people. I'm even sure that maybe they might be praying right now. If they are praying, I'll actually bring it live, for us to see. Let me try and see if our hour is live. That is how it works. Pastor Jemine is not, out there. He's not out there calling everybody to wake up. No, he's not doing that. Good. As a matter of fact, they are even live right now. They are live right now. So this is a classic example. Let me bring it up. Let me share. This is really good. Let me bring this up on my screen so that we can all see this as a learning example. Wow, this is very exciting. Can we all see this right now? Can we see this right now? There are how many people online right now? How many people online right now? This is interesting. 36,000 people. There are 36,000 people watching right now as I speak right now. As I speak right now, okay, let me get the banner off here. I think it's blocking the view. It's blocking that side. Yeah, I think the number is, let me try and see. Yeah, this is an example. 36,000 people watching right now. This is a classic example. But guys, let me ask, do we think that Pastor Ajimane is knocking on the doors of people at 12 a.m. to call everybody to wake up, to rise up? It's time for us to pray. So how are they doing it? Right? How are they doing it then? How are they doing it? That means they are what? Sharing. They are sharing. That is a power. They are sharing to people. Right? That means the internet is very powerful. Can you imagine just by a simple share button? Simple share button. We are able to bring about 30,000 people. What kind of church auditorium do they even have? Well, if you look at their auditorium, I've seen the auditorium before. It's very small. It is somewhere in Achimota or somewhere. It's around that area. The auditorium their church is very small. I don't even think their church building can even take in more than 2,000 people. No, it can't even take in more than 1,500 people. But can you imagine the power of the internet, the power of technology? How using technology, he's able to bring 35,000 people right now as I speak. This is a live event going on. 36,000 people. This is what we are talking about right now. That we can use the internet, we can use technology to reach out to several thousands. Technology has no limit. If we can invite about 500,000 people, we will see on YouTube that it will say 500,000 people are watching. It will tell us that 500,000 people are watching. And how about this other Reverend Minister as well? Pastor Jerry Eze. This is Pastor Jerry Eze of NSPPD. Very soon, in some few hours, in about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours or so, 5 hours, NSPPD is also going to be live. And this one is not 35,000. This one is going to be 110,000, 120,000 online live. Is Pastor Jerry as one man? Is he going around knocking people's door in Nigeria and everywhere around the world and wake up? for us to pray? No, but sharing. And they emphasize on it. As a matter of fact, during the prayer session or prayer time, they will actually tell you, they will tell us to share the link. And that is how it works, right? That is exactly how it works. That is exactly how it works. If you're not liking, you're not sharing, you're not commenting, it's not going to move. So for cyber evangelism to go, for cyber evangelism to work, these pillars must be in place, right? We need to have these pillars in place. We need to pray first. We need to like the broadcast. We need to share. If you're not sharing, it will not go. It will not go. And I can use my own COP as an example. Our own COP can be an example, right? A church with membership over 3 million people, right? 3 million people. But because we have not done a lot in around this area of cyber education and cyber education. You see our broadcast from maybe COP headquarters, etc. Then you see the numbers very small, 100 people, 58 people. How can a church with a population of membership of over 3 million people? And then we have a broadcast, and then sometimes go as high as maybe 200 or maybe 160, 150. That means there's more room. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, because we cannot have a broadcast as a church with membership in excess of 3 million people in Ghana alone. We're not even talking about those outside of Ghana. In Ghana alone, right? So that means there's work to be done. So I commend this man of God that they are using technology, but we also need to up our game, step up our game. Pastor Jerezi, 100,000. There's going to be over 100,000 people online at the same time. What auditorium is it going to accommodate all these people? But that is a power from using the pillars of what digital or cyber evangelism, right? He's using that. So what are the channels? Now that we have known some of these things, what are some of the channels that we can start from, or what we can do, right? As people, as a way of reaching out to souls, right? We all cannot be Pastor Jerry. We all cannot be Pastor Elvis. We all cannot be whatever, any name that So, where can we start from? Where can we start from, guys? Where can we start from? Number one, as a way of starting, we can start a YouTube channel. You can start a YouTube channel. Everybody, once you have a Gmail account, right? So that we think about it, we think it's a mystery. It's not a mystery, guys. It is not anything for want of better expression. Let me use a key English word, huhudios. It is not huhudios. It is not huhudios. I want somebody to comment in the comment section for me. Huhudios. It's not huhudios, right? It's not a mystery, right? It is not a mystery, guys. This is not rocket science. You don't have to go to the moon, the space, and then get with Elon Musk, and then maybe a Starlink or SpaceX will have to shuttle you to the space to go and do this. Once you have Gmail account, right? You have Gmail email on your phone. That means you have access to YouTube. You can create your own YouTube account, easy, right? Maybe one day, or maybe the subsequent or next edition of Cyber Evangelism Class, we'll do some practicals. I'll let everybody that will come on. We will all create our own YouTube channels, right? Very easy, very easy. And for maybe then the first maybe 20 people or maybe 10 people, I can maybe work on your a package for you guys. Your YouTube banners and thumbnails, etc. Things that you can use to broadcast, etc. I can do that. Yes. It is not huhudios at all. I like that. I like that. It's not huhudios at all. So we can start, right? So start a YouTube channel about Christian topics, right? Sometimes you don't even have to say that, I need to go and read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Before you can start the YouTube channel, you have to read the Gospel because you're going to be preaching. No. You can even start, like a cooking, YouTube channel. And as you cook the Ghana jollof, as you cook the Ghana jollof and you show people how to cook the Ghana jollof with your ingredients, as you are even doing that, then you start talking about Christ, right? You don't have to make it yours. Hey, as soon as you appear on the camera, hey, let's flip our Bible. Let's go to Matthew. Let's go to chapter 11. Let's go to this. Let's go to that. Hey, 28. Did I miss the verse? And then you are in like a straight jacket. You are in a straight jacket. You don't want to make mistake. You don't make mistake. No, be easy, be flexible, be yourself, right? So the things that you love to do, if it's cooking, if it's poetry, anything. If you want to read something to people, but as you are sharing that, then you can bring in the sharing of the love of God, right? So the things that you already know, the skills that you already possess, if it's counseling, you want to give advice, whatever. Everybody, I believe that all of us on this channel, or people that are going to be watching me, right? We all have something that we can share to the world. And as we do that, we can also we can be sharing the gospel alongside, right? So start by creating a channel. You can create a YouTube channel, very easy. Every one of us, like I said, if you have Gmail, you have access to this. You have access to YouTube. You just have not explored it yet. Once you have Gmail, you can also, you have access to YouTube. Number 2 is that we can record a podcast, right? So we can record a podcast, and this might need some little training, right? This might need a little training. This might need, little training, right? You might learn a little bit about, maybe how to use cameras, how to record, how to post, how to edit, here and there. But, essentially, nobody should limit themselves. You can essentially start by simply recording. You don't need to have a good studio with, maybe a backdrop light and all of that, a very good microphone to do all of these things. I started doing some of these things long time ago. It was just until last 2 months. You guys can see over here on my shoulder over here that I bought this external microphone. So you don't necessarily have to start with something pretty. And some of these microphones, they don't even cost that much. You can get some of these external microphones so that the sound quality that you record is good. Amazon for $20. There are microphones over there on Amazon that cost $15, $25. That will make sure that when you're recording yourself with your phone camera or whatever, the sound quality is good, right? So it doesn't even cost that much. But when you don't know, you don't know. So you can review a topic, you can review a topic. And as you review a topic, it can be a relevant topic, for our Christian world today, and as you do that, then you'll be sharing the gospel alongside, right? You'll be sharing the gospel alongside. Number 3, you can produce videos, right? Sharing Bible stories, right? Sharing Bible stories. There are so many characters in the Bible. There are several dozens of, Bible characters in the Bible. Even if you don't know where to start from as a topic, you can start with some of these, characters in the Bible. Talk about Elijah, talk about Moses, talk about Daniel, talk about, Joseph. There are so many characters, who they were, where they were born, their characters, what they made it, what made them successful in their times, what they failed at, what we can also learn from it, what are the lessons for today's Christian. There's so many things that we can, but where we can start from is not a problem. I believe that where we can start from is not a problem. It's not a problem. Yes, like Mama Monica is saying, even the old people, right? Where we can start from it's not a problem. There's so many ways, so many things, so many points, so many places that we can start this from, right? Very important. So, reviewing that, produce video, sharing Bible stories, in a creative way for the youth, right? In today's world, technology is so advanced that you cannot say that you cannot have something to create, for the youth. There's so many hundred ways that, you can create something that is tailored and designed for the youth that they will be interested in learning. Number 4, you can start writing blogs. You can start writing blogs, right? If you're a good writer, you don't even have to be one of the best writers, right? You do not necessarily have to go to like school of maybe journalism, right? No, you don't have to go to before you can become a good writer, right? Whatever that whatever comes to your mind, just begin to pen it down, write it down. This is critical. This is very important, right? This is very, very important. So write it down. Let's share it. Let's share it. Let's share it. Let's share whatever that we know. Write it down. Don't look for perfection first. Perfection will come, right? So blogs on how church members can be entrepreneurs, can practice good stewardship of whatever they have access to. So you can write essentially different things in different areas, right? Very important. And then we can design, for those of you that are also good with infographics, it's one of the ways to illustrate the different things, pictorial things, so that it makes sense. People can connect with things that they see with the eye. It's very easy on them. We are all, visual human beings. That's what they call it. We are all visual human beings. And so, if you're reading something to me, rather than if you show something on the screen, it makes sense to them. People can connect easily with that when you show something on the screen, visual. So infographics, if you're good with designing, or if you want to get into that, you can also talk to me. I can point you to a few areas where you can start learning some of this, infographics and designing stuff also for free. You learn some of these things, you begin to use them in designing, come up with creative way, to illustrate things so that people can connect with God, right? They can connect, can have a relationship with God as well. This is very important. So design infographic, explaining Bible prophecies, salvation, the ABCD of salvation. A stand for what? B stand for what? C stand for what? It's simple things like that. Illustrate them in designs, very important. And then you can also create graphics with the most epic spirit of, maybe prophecy quotes, etc. Right? You can create graphics, using that. Illustrative things for kids, for teenagers, for young adults, for adults, etc. Right? You can sort of maybe categorize them, group them into different age, right? And this is so easy as well. So these are some of the ways that we can start from. Are you guys with me so far? Let me see the comment section that, yes, we are with you. We are with you. Let me know that you guys didn't are not asleep. let me ship some tea to you guys. So we are with you, Nana. We are with you. I want to see the comment section. We are with you. We are with you. We are with you. This is an interactive session. See, it is cyber. So we get interacted over here. We don't sit down and then just watch. So I want everybody to comment. We are with you. We are with you over there in the comment section. That knows that, you guys are with me and I'm not here with my co-pilot talking to ourselves. We are not here on a Sunday night talking to ourselves, right? With my co-pilot Collins over here. So we are with you. Okay, I see one comment that says we are with you. Okay, we are with you, Nana. Okay, great. I see one also here. To say we are with you. All right. So to only 2 people, the rest of the 16 people online. So where are the 14 people? Okay. So I see what I can say. Yes, we are with. Okay, all right. So that I know I'm not talking to myself. All right, let's go. All right, we are with you. Okay, all right. Now I know I am not by myself, Collins, right? I know we are not by ourselves here, right? All right. So you can create graphics. You can publish an ebook, guys. I have started a digital economy series on my own platform, and we'll be talking about some of these things. You can essentially create or write an ebook very easy in our world today. You don't have to go to a book publishing, what do you call it? Business or something to go and talk to them, discuss with them. There are so many ways that you can write a book easily in our today in our world today, right? You can write an ebook. So you can write an ebook, write things, publish something. That's how digital evangelism works. So whether you're writing an ebook, writing a Christian, journal, putting out something, it is okay, right? It is all right. It is all right for you to do that. So whether, sometimes, people can target maybe young Christian women as a subject that they wrestle with or they want to communicate to, or young, maybe married couples, if you have the grace. And I know our mothers, some of our mothers, God has gifted you guys. You have the grace to be able to talk to young, married, couples, or even young adults who are about entering into marriage, right? God has given you guys the grace to talk, to share a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge around some of these areas, right? You will not even struggle. Some of you, when you put a camera, when you start the recording, you will not even struggle with what to share, because you yourself, you have seen a lot, you have been exposed to a lot, and you have heard so much. So there's a lot to share. And beside that, I know you guys are also being inspired by the Holy Spirit, right? And so that inspiration also comes, that wisdom comes. There's so much to share from God's word to young adults, right? There's so much. So as for where you guys will start and where you guys, can connect with, these people, I don't think that is the issue. But the problem is that we need to start, and we will start it. So you can launch an e-magazine as well, especially written for married couples. If your church uses social media, remember to create content to engage your audience. So if you're a church, local church, that has all these platforms, maybe still be Facebook account, etc. Make sure if you guys don't want to send any message, just take pictures, right? Take pictures, let people know that this church is not dead. This church is alive, right? Let's put out there Sunday service, right? And then how fellowship, people greeting each other, shaking hands with each other, so that they'll know there's a vibrant community. This is a vibrant place that I want to be. I want to be with them, right? There are a lot of people who are living in lonely places. They will want a community. They want a place where they can fellowship with people, right? So once they see things like that, they go, oh, okay, they can fellowship like that. At PRW's Atlanta, even when you're lucky, when you come, you can even get a pizza after Sunday, right? So if you're fortunate when you come, we should take pictures of all these things. How we are breaking bread after church service, right? How after church, because church is not just about we come to sit down there and then with a straight jacket and then someone comes and everybody's crying, everybody's we are tossed left and right, and then we are slain, in the spirit. We are lying down, we are rolling, and then we are no, church is not always about that. Church is about fellowship as well, right? So take pictures, let people know. Let's show the world how exciting it is to be part of God's family, right? Where we hold hand in hand, right? We are hand in hand after church, fellowshipping, eating, breaking bread, drinking. All these are very important, right? This is very important. So don't simply post content promoting, it's not just about we are having revival 7 days, 7 days. That is good. That is all important. But all the activities, all the things that, we do around church, we should be able to put it out there. So let people know that this is happening. If it's game day, put it out there. We had a game day today. And as we're playing games, we're talking about Christ. We're talking about our adulthood life, etc., etc. Right? This is very important. So digital evangelism channels, where we can start from, things that we can start doing, right? So all the things that I've talked about. If you just join, go back, to the video once we are done with this broadcast. There's so many things that we've already shared, right? So where do people live? So the reason why we need to, take a place, we need to take a stake in a digital, planet. At the beginning, we were saying that, the digital world is almost like another continent, right? It's a realm, it's a space by itself. So where do people live? This data over here from 2021 tells us something, So 4 hours, average time spent on the internet every day, right? People spend almost about 4 hours. This is a staggering number, guys. This is a staggering number, 4 hours. We spend almost about 4 hours on average time. This is even the average. So you can do the math and talk about and think about the maximum, right? Because this is just the average. This is just the average, right? The average. 52.4% of users access the internet through the mobile phone devices. So people are on the go. They're on their cell phones, but they're on the internet as well, right? 52.4%. 52.4%. This is also a huge number. And then 7.3 billion of the world population are on mobile users as well. This is also huge. And then when you look to my right, we look to the screen, what I'm sharing on the right. This is huge. This is huge. This is what happens every minute, right? This is what happens every minute. You can think about it. Since I was saying something right now, like 60 seconds ago, 1 minute. Every 1 minute, there are 21.1 million text messages that have been sent. This is a lot. 21.1 million text messages. Just now that I was just speaking about a minute ago, there are about 500 hours content uploaded. People are uploading new videos on YouTube. 500 hours content uploaded. Just now, as I was speaking 1 minute ago, there are about 414,000 764 apps downloaded. People are on the App Store, whether on the Google Play Store or the iOS App Store, they are downloading new apps. Can you imagine? This is huge. This is mind-boggling, guys. I don't know whether I'm the only person that is feeling this way or not, but 414,000. That's huge number. 764,000 apps are being downloaded from the App Store, right? And there are 695,000 stories being shared on Instagram. 695,000 stories being shared on the Instagram, right? This is a huge number as well. And then there are 200,000 people tweeting on X. It was formerly called, Twitter. Today we call it X, right? So there are 200,000 tweets going on in a minute, not in an hour, guys. Not in an hour. This is in a minute, 60 seconds, right? 60 seconds. There are 200,000 tweets going on. And there are 2 million swipes on Tinder, right? There are about 197 million emails that are being sent in a minute. Every minute, there are 197 million emails being sent. And then we have 2 million views on Twitch. We have 5,000 downloads on what? TikTok. We have 932 smart audio devices shipped on Amazon, right? These are huge ones. We have 69 million messages being sent on WhatsApp. 69 million messages that are being sent on what? WhatsApp. We have 3.4 million snaps that are being created every 1 minute. We have 1.6 million people shopping online. They are checkout, online. They are shopping online. 1.6 million people. There are 28,000 subscribers watching Netflix in every 1 minute. 28,000 subscribers watching Netflix, right? We have 9,132 connections being made on LinkedIn. And then Facebook, we have 1.5 million people scrolling on Facebook at every minute. 1.4 million people scrolling on Facebook every minute. So guys, 60 seconds, that means this is a place that the church, we cannot be ignorant of, and we cannot say that this is not for us. If you look at all these statistics, guys, if you look at all these numbers, and we're going to say that, oh, no, Facebook is not for us, we cannot take the gospel out there. That means we are doing ourselves a disservice. Not just our disservice, we doing God a disservice. Because this is a place that we can get a lot of people. Imagine all these numbers. All these people are online. That means, the target audience, the people that we can reach out to, they are also on there, also online. This is a place that, we cannot we cannot shelve it under the carpet. We can't shelve it under the carpet. No. With these staggering numbers, as many people as, 69 million messages are being sent 60 seconds on WhatsApp. We cannot say that, no, we cannot preach the gospel within the cyberspace. We want to go to open air rally. It's good. That one is good. We cannot go to the car station and then stay at the car station, alone, and then do this. But just a few days ago, we were, pastor, our district pastor here, and if you're watching this is Church of Pentecost, Atlanta district, COP, Church of Atlanta district, by the direction and lead of our pastor William Dobeji, and the evangelism, ministry. We just finished our cyber virtual crusade, and so far, if I'm not mistaken, we may be at maybe 1,500 streams or videos of people that have watched our crusade from day 1 to day 4. We might be getting to 2,000. We may have crossed 2,000 already. Can you imagine how many people, if we were doing this at our church or at different, could we have reached more than 1,000 people, preaching to them? First day alone was like 521 people, right? So the virtual space is a space that, we cannot be ignorant of. We cannot share it under the carpet. And we need to take advantage of this space as much as possible, right? So to local assemblies, local assemblies who have not yet created a page, you guys need a page. If you guys need help, reach out, right? If you guys need help in doing this, reach out. We need to occupy. Everybody needs to take, if it was a physical land, I would say that we all need to get a plot. We all need to get a plot somewhere, right? By creating a space, that means we've rented a space somewhere. We all need to create a page somewhere. We need it. So this is very important, guys. This is very important. If you look at these numbers, This number should drive us, should motivate us that we need to get our evangelism campaigns out there on the internet. If these activities are going on and all these people are online in 60 seconds, that means there are a lot of people that we can reach out to, right? You can reach them with the gospel. This is very important, guys. Okay. All right. So, what are the steps to build a vibrant online ministry? For those who want to start, building a community, building something. Number one is that you got to choose a platform, right? So it's either you have your own church website. It doesn't cost that much, to buy a domain, like a domain name, or to buy a domain. It's almost like $12, right? $12, guys. It costs only $12 to buy a domain, to say COP Alabama.com as an example, or COP Louisville, Kentucky, COP Indiana, whatever. Any name. I'm just making up some names here, right? It costs only $12 to buy a domain name, and maybe the hosting server is also very small, something small annually, like $5 or $8. It depends on the capacity of the server that you go with. But typically for a church website, it's not that much, right? It will not be more than maybe $10 a month, right? Which we can do it. We can do it, right? So number one is to choose a platform. So we say, okay, we want to have a website. We want to have a Facebook page. We want to have a YouTube account so that we can broadcast all this. So all this can be done. So choose a platform, have a target audience in mind. Who are we targeting, right? Is there any, demography, age bracket, whatever that we want to reach out to, right? This is very important. So when you have a target audience, we are targeting people in Atlanta only, right? In our community. We are targeting people beyond Georgia. We are targeting people beyond, from Georgia to maybe the Carolinas, or to Tennessee, or to all the other states, Florida, etc. Who are our target audience, right? Not just that, but even within that, we need to be able to define the demographic. What kind of age, category do we want to target, right? Maybe from 18 years to 30 years. The beauty about technology is that technology even allows you to target the age bracket that you want to reach out to. That is the beauty about technology. If you want to just reach out to males only, you want to reach out to women only, you want to reach out to women and men only, or both, it allows you to do that. Whatever that you want to share out there, boost it, whatever, technology allows you to do that. It even allows you to maybe set a target of how many people you want to reach a day. And we can have a budget, to commit to some of these things, right? And then so have a target audience, form a community, have a strategy, and execute, right? These are the steps to building a vibrant, ministry online. All right, let me get going here. So what are some of the platform examples that we can go with? Platform examples, there are some listed platform examples over here. So Facebook is one, YouTube is one, Instagram account is one. We need to be on the X, that is formerly Twitter. We got to be, we can have a WhatsApp, we can have a Snapchat, we can have Periscope. I've joined a lot of, service on Periscope for different ministries. TikTok account, podcast, blogs. We can create, account on all these platforms, right? We can create account on all these platforms, right? Let us not just say, oh, TikTok is for kids. No, they are there. That is where the people that you want to reach out to, they are there on TikTok. What is stopping the church from creating a TikTok account? What is stopping the church from creating an X account? They say, oh, Twitter is for intellectual minds. No, but the church is also an embodiment of intellectuals. We want to be able to put our view out there. So it's not just YouTube, it's not just Facebook. We got to be everywhere, right? We got to be everywhere. All right. So these are the examples of the places, or where we can create account, right? Where we can create account. Okay. So strategy. If you're going to start an online presence or online ministry, anything online, guys, you cannot just start it and then just be relaxed. Number one, consistency. You cannot start broadcasting today and then next week you say, our internet, messed up, something happened and we cannot go online. No, you cannot do that. Let me see the comment section. I want to see that comment. You can't do that. You can't do that. I want to see that. You can't do that. Guys, help me. I want you guys to put out there, you can't do that. Now, let's say you can't do that. You can't broadcast, this Sunday, and then next week Sunday you are off. You say, no. I want you guys to put in a comment section for me. Please put in a comment section. You can't do that. This is a no, 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 no. This is a no, no. This is a no, no. You can't do that. Okay, I see one comment over here. Guys, this is an interactive session, guys. So when I say comment, please comment under the broadcast, okay, for me, so that I know that you guys are with me, right? So comment, please comment under the broadcast. We can't do that. You can't do that. So you cannot broadcast today and then tomorrow you are off. you know, you know, you can't broadcast today and then today you are off. You can't do that. Conversation, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. Consistency. So once you start doing it, every Sunday you got to be live. Once service start at 9 a.m., 9 a.m. That is right. You can't do that, right? You can't do that. You can't show up today. Next week, you guys are not broadcasting again. Ah, man, what is right with that? So you guys tell me, what is right with that? You can't do that. You know, we can't do that. So strategy number one, consistency. We got to be consistent. If every morning, Sunday morning at 9 a.m., we are live, right? Every morning, 9 a.m., we are live. Every morning, 10 a.m., you are live. You know, that you got to have that consistency in there. You got to be consistent. Number two, goals without target, without target audience in mind. Goals with a target without target audience in mind. You cannot do that as well. And then content creation and distribution plan. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan how you will distribute your content. If the church want to create, content, we got to have a plan, right? You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan, guys. You got to have a plan. You cannot just show up today and then not show up tomorrow. You got to have a plan. How we will maintain it, how we'll be consistent, how we'll be able to sustain this effort. So we don't just show up today and then the next day we don't have any plan to sustain it. No. That's a no, right? So we got to have a distribution plan. How are we going to share this? We're going to put it on our WhatsApp platform, and then we expect that all our members on the WhatsApp platform, we all take the message out there, right? If I have 100 friends, like I said in the beginning, right? So if I have 100 friends and then I share to my 100 friends, that's all. But if you also have 100 friends and then you also share to 100 friends, we've gotten 200 people, If you have 300 friends, we've got more than 100. So this is very, very important, guys. This is very important. This is very important, right? So you got to have a content creation and distribution plan. If we have a plan to go on maybe Sunday morning service, Friday evening service, Monday evening maybe youth service, we got to have a plan and make sure that we are on to distribute our broadcast. Right? We are on to distribute our broadcast and share on this platform. And then number three, we got to have a calendar, right? We got to have a calendar and say that, okay, all these programs are coming. All these things are out there. We will do this. We will do that. Let's make sure that we plan towards this very well, right? We're able to do that. We have to be able to plan for that, and we got to have a format. You got to have a format. You don't just show up and just have shown up just like that. No. You have to be prepared. Be prepared. You are broadcasting to the world, to the rest of the world. Like what I'm doing right now. I know this is for the rest of the world. Everyone is looking at this, but people will watch this later on, right? So you gotta have a format. Okay, this is my format. I'll go with these steps. Step number one, step number two, step number three, and then from this point, and then this is what I'm going to say, right? You gotta have a format. How you guys will distribute your content as a church, and then content schedule. Right, we talk about that. The content, schedule, and then the channel and distribution. We got to choose. We've talked about that as well. Right, this is very important. You got to have a strategy. Don't just start it, and say we have started it. No, have a plan and be consistent with it. Because we cannot do that. We can't show up today and be off the next day. No, that's not good, guys. Digital evangelism is important. Being able to occupy the digital space with the gospel, this is relevant. This is important. We are not diluting the gospel. You see, I have over here, I have on this screen over here, the message and the medium, right? If you look at the right side, I put an old tape, cassette, and I put, a gramophone and all the other, devices that, way back years ago, we used to use some of these devices, these instruments over there, to play music. We still have the same music playing in cars, in our homes, in radio, television, etc., right? In different formats today. But today we don't enjoy music with this format as I've displayed on my right side. The cassette, the tape cassette. There's nobody. There might just be a few. It's been long since I even set my eyes on something like this, a cassette, right? Or the other ones over here on the screen. But guess what? The same music that was being played on the cassette, that was being played on the gramophone, played on these other devices, that same music is being played in our cars on flash drive and other new technological advanced devices. But the music has not changed. And the same thing is with our gospel message. That is the point I want to drive home as I'm getting ready to wrap up here. That is the same thing with our gospel message. So the gospel message is still the same. It's still Jesus. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's the same person who died, who rose again on the third day. He has not changed. The message is still the same, but the medium has changed. The distribution channel has changed. And this is where we need to adapt. This is where we need to step in and say, oh, okay, yeah, we get the point that you're making. So it's the same message. It's the same gospel. The gospel remains the same. It's the same savior, but the medium has changed. Today, we don't play music in our cars. I'll be surprised if somebody's here that you're still playing a cassette. I'll give you a loyalty award. Because you are so loyal. I will work with Edda Collins, my co-pilot over here, and we will design a cassette loyalty award for you. That whilst we all moved on past CDs and past other, you're still holding on to a tape cassette, right? We'll get you that. So today we are playing music from SoundCloud, from Apple Music. We are playing music from all sorts of places. So, but it's the same music. It's the same message that we are hearing. So it is still the same Savior. It is still the same gospel. It is still the same Christ who can save. But the medium has changed, right? The medium has changed. But the Savior is essentially the same person. Jesus has not changed. Just because we are playing it on a YouTube. No, just because we are not standing at a bus terminal, a lorry station, a car station, because Jesus has changed. He's doing something different. Jesus does not work under a cocoa tree because we are under the cocoa tree, because he has more powers. He does not have more powers under a cocoa tree. My God, let me not go there, guys. I want you to comment in there. Stop it, Nana. Stop it. I want you to comment. Stop it. Let me not go there. You guys should not let me go there. Let me not go to other places tonight. Please comment in there for me. Comment in the comment section. Stop it, Nana. Stop right there. You stop right there. Stop right there. Jesus is not working more under a cocoa tree, right? Jesus will not perform more miracles because we're in a cocoa tree and then we are in a block building. Okay, I see it over there. Thank you. Just stop it. Stop right there. Say, Nana, pull your brakes. It's okay. We get it. We got you. So Jesus is not doing more wonders because we are under a cocoa tree, and then some of them are in some glass building. Jesus is not he's not anti-glass, anti-glass. Stop it. Okay. All right. So it's still the same message, guys. The message I want to drive here is that it's still the same message. It's still the same gospel, right? The medium has essentially changed, right? The medium has essentially changed, but it's still the same Savior, right? Who saves, right? Is there anybody that calls the name of the Lord shall be saved? That's what the Bible says. Is anybody that calls the name of the Lord shall be saved? It didn't say, when you call me on a tape cassette, on a CD, on a pen drive, on a flash drive, MP4, MP3, this is where I'm going to save you the most. I'll save you quickly more than somebody calling me with a megaphone. Or if you call me at dawn with a megaphone, I will save you more. Guys, it's still the same Savior. the message and the medium, we need to know this, right? Now, the world is changing. I'll talk about this, and then we get into the benefit, and then we're wrapping up. And then you have any questions, I'll begin to take some questions. So please, start maybe putting your questions in the in the comment section, and then I will address it. Or if you want to join us, let me see if I can get this link to Colin Collins, and then you can put it in the YouTube comment section, and you can join us, because I want us this to be very interactive. So I want you to join, click the link, and then join us on this live broadcast, so you can ask your questions. I would love to. Yeah, we'd love to have you, and then you speak here so that we can all hear you. So yeah, borderlessness. So guys, just like we have democracy, we are getting into. So yes, co-pilot. So please share the link under the YouTube comment section so that people can join us here live and ask questions. Yeah, if they have one.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So we are getting into an era, a space where we call something, technocracy, right? Technocracy. That means, look, there's a time coming, there's a day coming. As a matter of fact, if it's not even here already, that you cannot do anything without technology, right? You will not be able to access public services and other things without technology. That means technology is going to be key. Technology is going to be key in accessing anything, right? I say something over here. The strength of a material is not in it. Is it in its universal appeal or global weight? A shoe won't suddenly change because it crosses borders to become a loaf of bread, right? It's still going to be the same thing. Like I was talking about the message and the medium. It's still the same thing. Just because I had a shoe and I crossed the Atlantic Ocean from Ghana and I landed in JFK, New York, that doesn't mean the shoe will now change to become a loaf of bread. No, a shoe is still a shoe, right? It will not change. Borderlessness. We got to think like that. We got to think like that. We got to think like there are no borders, right? Way back ago, I used to think like this until at work, maybe about 8 years ago, somebody said something. I'm like, I've never heard this before. Wow, this is very interesting. I've never heard it before. And then, me saying something like, we got to think outside the box. Why do you have to think? Why do you have to worry yourself to think outside the box? You have to think like there is no box. Because if you think outside the box, that means you already have limitations around you. And now you have to think about, how you can cross the box. Well, why don't you think like there is no box at all? So we got to think like that. Like there is no box at all. Borderlessness. We got to think like we are a church without walls, right? We got to begin to think like that we are a church without walls. So my co-pilot has put a comment in there. So if you want to join us, please click on that link, and then you will be brought in here, and then I will add you to the stage. We'll begin to have conversation right now. If you have a question, please join in. Please, I will want as maybe 3 people or something to join in. So tap on that link and then come in. Let's make this interactive as we are wrapping up, right? As we are wrapping up. So please join in. Let's have a chat real quick before we end. All right. So companies like Google, I don't think anybody over here, you went to California, you went to Google office and say you want Google. They're already thinking like that because of the borderlessness. So, whether you are in Ghana, you are in Nigeria, you are in Rwanda, you are in India, you are in Pakistan, Google will not even come and force you to use them, but you will use them because they have that borderlessness thinking, right? So they don't ever come and advertise with that. Hey, would you use Gmail? You already have need for it. They don't advertise to you that come and use, Netflix, come and use it, because this organization, they have this mindset of borderlessness, technocracy. And as a church community and as Christian, we also have to begin to think like that. Technocracy, borderlessness. Apple will not come to you. They'll not come and say, come and buy our phone, come and do this. But you have a need. Because they're thinking about they're thinking about how they will bring purchasing power to their headquarters in California from everywhere around the world. You don't tell them what to do, but they do it, and they have that mindset that you will come to them, by organic, right? By organic, you will come to them. Netflix, Google, Amazon, Alibaba, all these things, they're already thinking ahead, of you. And as a church community, we also need to begin to think like that, ahead. How can we be borderless? How can we embrace, technocracy? How can we democratize the gospel? Make the gospel accessible to people everywhere. We also need to start thinking like that. That how do we make the gospel, accessible to everyone? It doesn't matter, regardless of your location, regardless of where you are, but it's going to be accessible. In the beginning, I said something that if this gospel message is going to get to every part of the world, like the Bible says that, this message will get to the uttermost. I think that one of the key drivers to this is going to be technology. And we need to embrace it so that we can be able to push the gospel to the ends of the world. This is very important. So borderlessness, technocracy, this is something that the church, we need to adopt this strategy as well, right? All right, we are wrapping up. So what are the benefits? So please join. The link has already been shared in there. I'll see the link in there. So if you want to join us live as we wrap up, we want to have as many people, especially those who have questions, you have comments, whatever. Please come in. I want us to have a quick chat before we wrap up. So the benefit, once we do this as a church, as local assemblies, whatever, if we are able to do this, benefit number one, access to a global congregation. The internet knows no boundary. I put it out here, right? The internet knows no boundary. By taking the gospel online, churches can reach global congregation, whether it's a small local parish church or a small mega church or whatever. A digital pulpit allows the message to resonate far beyond physical walls, right? So as soon as we embrace this mindset of a digital pulpit, that's it. It goes beyond physical walls. And then number two, real-time engagement. Real-time. As you guys were commenting, did you see that? Once you were commenting, the comments and what you are saying, what was coming on the screen. This is real-time engagement. Real-time engagement. When I say, I want you guys to say, stop it. You guys saw it over there. It came on the screen. Stop it. Your name comes that you have said it, right? That is real-time. We are able to meet the people, interact with them, know how they are doing, so that if we want to pray for somebody, we can pray for somebody because they comment on it. So we're able to get live real-time engagement, right? Real-time comment, right? This is very, very important. Social media platforms offer real-time engagement with congregants. So live streams, interactions, Q&A, like, we put in the link right now that we want people to join us. Why? Because we can have a real-time Q&A, question and answer. If you have questions, maybe I can help you, right? This is important, guys. This is important. We're able to chat. We're able to have live interactions. It's very important. Number three, amplified outreach. The third benefit, to this is amplified outreach. How does this come in? The internet provides a megaphone for the gospel, right? A megaphone. When we were kids and people go to, the dawn broadcast. Why? Because at dawn, it's very quiet, very serene. And so when you use a megaphone, it amplifies your voice, right? Your voice is amplified. And when you speak, you are singing, it goes into several homes at dawn, when I did dawn broadcasting. But the internet can even do far greater wonders than that. The idea was of the megaphone at dawn broadcasting is very good, but that's very thinking small. The internet is even a better megaphone, right? The internet is a better megaphone, for the gospel. Content can be shared, reshared, extending its reach exponentially, right? Very, very big. This is why a well-crafted sermon or message can have a life far beyond the church service, right? Touching lives in an unexpected ways, guys. This is very important. Meeting people where they are in a digital space. People turn to the internet for answers, inspiration, community. By maintaining digital presence, churches can meet individuals where they are, providing spiritual guidance and sense of belongingness in the digital space for people frequently and daily. As we are having the crusade, we just ended this crusade. We have so many people reach out with prayer requests. So many people, some of them from Salem, Oregon, from New York, people, and then we pass the names, to pastor, so that we will be able to pray for them. We can reach out to as a lot of people, with their needs, right? And then flexibility and accessibility. This is another benefit as well. And the ministry beyond Sunday. We should not just think about ministry as as a Sunday thing, but when you have a digital platforms, when you have a ministry on a platform, when you have a digital pulpit, it is a ministry beyond Sunday. That means churches can extend their ministry beyond the confines of Sunday service. They can provide online resources for Bible study, counseling, support, addressing spiritual and emotional needs of congregants throughout the week, right? So we are not bound by the presence of Sunday block 9 a.m. to 12:30 or 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. whatever. We are not bound bound by that. And the last one over here is building community. Social media and the internet offers us fosters digital community centered around shared faith. So these communities offer support, encouragement, and sense of belongingness, and this they can be lifeline for those in need of spiritual and emotional assistance. So guys, the benefit is huge. The benefit is huge. Staying relevant, cost-effective outreach, spreading hope and positivity, and all these other benefits. So it's clear. And lastly, as I'm wrapping up over here, the ABC foundations are maintained. We are not diluting it. It's the same thing. ABCDs of salvation is that the A stands for what? Admit that you have sinned. It's the same message that will be put on the same platform. The B stands for that, you need to have a need, acknowledge that Jesus is the only one that can save you. Believe in Jesus. And the C is that what? Confess that Jesus is your Lord. That's it. This is the ABC of salvation. This can be shared on all platforms, on all mediums, wherever that you start. But we just have to start. We just have to start. And that's it. Right? So in conclusion, as we wrap up here, you don't need a crowd, right? You don't need a crowd to preach the gospel. One of the greatest messages preached by Jesus, he only preached to one man, Nicodemus, right? He only preached to one man. He didn't need, he needed 1,000 people, to say, hey, I'm Jesus. Let me preach to you all. I'm so excited you guys are here. Just one man, just one man, just one man, Nicodemus, just one man. One of the greatest message. So you can use the data space, preach to 2 people, 3 people, or your contact, share it to them, and it's going to be an impacting, uplifting message to them, right? So one of the greatest sermon by Paul was to the governor, Philip, as well, right? So again, use what you have, use the technology accessible to you. God gave up a whole continent through one man, just witnessing to one person. God sent Philip to talk to one man, the Ethiopian eunuch. Ethiopian eunuch was an African, because he wanted the gospel to go down to the south, so the message can get to Africa, south of the Sahara, way before missionaries even started coming to Africa, right? So God have been working through people, and I believe that there's so much, there's so much for us. There's so much, for us. The digital space has no boundary. Remember all the things that we've shared tonight. We've shared so many things, tonight. We've shared so many things tonight. Who is a cyber evangelist? Who the statistics that we've talked about? That means we cannot be ignorant of the digital space, the advantages that are out there, the numbers that are out there. And, we are just starting. The internet is just warming up. Somebody said the internet is just warming up. There's a lot of things that are coming on the highway, the internet highway. And the earlier the church, adapt to this and take advantage of this, that is how we'll be able to democratize the gospel. We can make the gospel accessible to as many people as possible. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
All
Amen.
right. Are there any questions? Oh, so nobody joined the link. I thought somebody was going to join the link with us so that we can have an interactive session, but nobody joined the link.
I think I kind of want to ask a quick question, right? Probably we
Yes,
can
yes,
discuss it.
yes.
You know, whilst they were talking about algorithm that people use, and lately I've been watching this, so Israel and Hezbollah and Hamas. So once I turn my thing, that is more of the things that really comes up. But I kind of wanted to ask around that. Um, you would think that sharing of the gospel with phones using social media platform, it's an easy tap of a button, right? Then you share to somebody, but you realize that most of us are uninterested in those areas. Is it a fact that we don't seem to be who we are to the people that are around us, even though we believe to be Christians? What do you think, or what are some of the things that you've come across that really bothers around the lack of unconcernedness from people in able to sharing using cyber digital space to share some of these messages? Is it the fact that people within our space do not even find us to be who we are, or what do you think could be some of the reasons?
Yeah, you've partly, answered the question. You've partly answered the question. So the lack of appetite. We don't have appetite in sharing, things of that nature. I think it's a couple of things that are in there. So number one is it's what you even mentioned, like character or your attitude because of who you are, or you think people will judge you because they know you and the way you behave at work. So when you start sharing things about Christ, are you also a Christian? Because if you're a Christian, then there's something wrong with you as maybe your persona, your personality, or what you demonstrate, what you exhibit out there, right? So maybe people see you differently, but what you're sharing is also on the other path. That can be one reason. But I think it's a human behavior. I think we need to correct it. We need to be intentional about professing our faith, right? It's so easy for us to talk about football right now. It's so easy for us to talk about politics right now. It's so easy for us to talk about entertainment right now. But when it comes to the subject of faith, there is also this growing trend of people don't want not wanting to offend you if you are from a different faith, or you belong to a certain sect of belief or whatever. People don't want to offend people, and so on and so forth, right? But we got to be out there. I'm not ashamed to forward my church program. For those of you that are know me or connected to me on my Facebook or whatever, I can talk about anything. I can share my church thing as well. But I'm not ashamed, and I do not have this interest. Like I'll have to call before I share a church event coming up or whatever. Even though sometimes I'm very particular about sharing different things, because I'm somebody, maybe just me, I believe in excellence. If something is not done in a certain way and is done haphazardly, just anyhow, I will not present such a thing to as a public outlook of us and how we do things. But when things are done very well, content are created very well, we are deliberate about doing something. I mean, it gives me joy to share this, right? But when we are even in-house disorganized, then there's not going to be the appetite, right? And that's very important, because if you are sharing something to the outside world that's very disorganized, that we are not even organized ourselves, it's just anyhow. People will look at us, some way. So I think one thing that the reason why maybe people don't share is how maybe we do things. And so if we are also well prepared, we do things in a more organized fashion, well prepared manner, people will have the appetite or interest, to share and distribute our content, our messages, out there. I think there's so many sides to this.
I mean, you touched on about the issue of excellence, and we need, as a church group, to strive for excellence. There is more room for improvement. Sometimes you see people who will be sharing or sending you these half-hour links, but that same people would even forget that we have church events. So sometimes I ask myself, what might be the issue? Is it the fact that what could be the issue, right? I mean, there might be so many issues, right, to that. But in your analysis of things, where do we start from as a church, right? For us to be able to go out there, to be able to, we cannot, just as you said, even in the city of Mableton, from where we are, right? We cannot go door to door, begin to knock people, but we can use the power of internet, right, to reach many
Mhm.
people within their space, within the area of Mableton as well. So, as a church, where do we start from? If most of us have not started, or some of us have not started, where do we start from, or what is your message to various evangelism groups within the local assemblies? Where do you start from to take the message out there?
I think where to start is not really the issue, because we have the tools, the technologies at our disposal, and so the things that we can use, or where to start from, that is not the real issue. But I think we need to be able to diagnose ourselves. we always say this, that it is the well that can donate blood, right? It is the well. If you're not well yourself, you cannot donate blood, right? It is the well that can donate blood. And so we need to be able to diagnose ourselves very well and look at us. We need to maybe prepare. I think preparation might be the word. I don't want to use any other word here. I think prepare ourselves very well, work on ourselves very well internally first, and then once we do that, you talk about something before I come to the outside. How can we reach out to that the outside world? But I talk about our own people sometimes sharing other content and other broadcasts from elsewhere, and then I've seen something that happened some time ago on even our district presbytery platform. Somebody accidentally shared one of these, prayer stuff, and then the person, deleted it back. So some of all these things, and some other things that I observed from other places around the world. Sometimes you need to be able to look into the people, diagnose them. But I think our church, we do very well in that. But we need to do more. So you look at the people, you look at the common trend, common problem, and whatever that is happening, and then we'll be able to find an antidote. We'll be able to find a solution that sort of meets the people's need, their need. If you're not meeting their need, trust me, they will find that need solution somewhere else. Yeah. If you are not finding the need or solution, if you're not giving the people the solution that they need for their problems, or at minimum, if you're not even diagnosing the problem at all, they know they have issues, but you're not addressing the issue, right? And so they'll rather go and find the solution to the issues, somewhere else, because if wherever they find themselves, they're not getting the answers. That's what they will do. So everywhere, it happens everywhere, even in organizations, even everywhere. If people are not feel like they don't have that sense of belongingness, you're not addressing their needs, and so on and so forth. They will try and find the solution somewhere else. And I think we have to be particular about this. We need to pay attention to some of these areas. And I think like I said, the internally. We need to work on some few things so that that appetite, that interest will come in, so people can distribute this. Now, how do we reach out to the community, etc.? I think every local assembly, everywhere you find yourself, there is always somebody. There is always people. There are always people out there who have need of this gospel. Now, how you reach out to them is one of the ways that maybe as an assembly or as a people, you sit down, you analyze the culture of the people, and then okay, can we reach out to them this way or that way or that way? I've seen the church in the US, a lot of times during evangelism, they'll use placards, etc., stand by roadside. We need to look at all this. We need to diagnose all this. Are they effective? What are some of the results we have achieved with this? When we stand out there, we raise a placard. Jesus says, yes, we're sowing the seeds out there. We're doing all that. People honk, papa, they honk their horns and do all these things. We stand up a placard out there. But, like we read in I think one of the slides, that we got to be able to meet the need of the people. They just passing and driving by. That we have not really solved their problem per se. Right, we got to be able to diagnose what's the common problem here in this city. Sometimes we are even afraid to reach out to the city, but for all the mayor is waiting for us to come. When you go to the mayor's office and you ask the mayor, what is the common problem in this city? They might say alcoholism. They might say this social vibe. They might say ABC. So that as a church, we can tailor our programs, our agenda towards solving the need in that, specific, locality. So if we have a common problem in one county or one district area or whatever, there's always a problem in there where the church can plug in. And I think the church, by God's grace and God's design agenda, God has planted us here on ground so that, people will be grateful that we are here. We'll be able to unlock so many things for them so that, our society will be grateful. They'll be thankful that we are here on ground. I think we need to do more than just standing and doing all of that. And they are all helpful. They are all good, but we need to even have different expressions in our society more.
So picking up from what you said, which requires investment into this very area, for us to be able to yield the necessary results. And that is an area that we'll have to look at as a church to see how best we can improve on. Um,
I
yeah,
think it's about conversation. I think we just have to have a conversation. If we just have to be very intentional, right? We have to be very deliberate about it. We want to have a budget. If there's a budget, there's not going to cost us that much. We don't have to break the bank for this. If every month we're just going to dedicate $200, $500, whatever amount, X or Y amount, we dedicate that, and then we use that money towards that, program or project, right?
yeah, I think there's always a way to go about things. It's just so quite deliberate approach as to how to resolve some of these issues.
Somebody's asked a question over here. Okay, so please, if you have a question, go ahead and put it in there. We'll address it for you. Please, if you have a question, go ahead and put it in a comment section. So there's one over here. Despite its many advantages, does cyber evangelism have any inherent disadvantage compared to traditional methods? If so, how can we address them? Yes. So with everything out there in this life, there is always an advantage and a disadvantage, right? We are social beings, of course. We build habits, we form habits, doing one thing. Sometimes, this mobile phone that we have, we have become, screens people. Some people are so glued to their screen, they cannot get anything done. Sometimes people can get on their phone, and that's it. They cannot be productive in any other thing, right? And so we have to be very disciplined. Yes, we want to be able to use the cyber space. We want to invade that space and do a lot of the gospel activity, evangelism activities in the cyberspace. But we also need to be disciplined in what time we want to be able to touch this phone, because the phone. A lot of people have issues right now, because they cannot get off. They'll keep scrolling up and down because Facebook has been designed like that, right? Instagram has been designed like that. It never has any ending. When you pick up your phone and you start scrolling down on Facebook, you can scroll down and you keep refreshing. It has no end, right? That is how the technology has been designed. So they want to lock you in. They want to be able to have as many eyeballs, in there. And so you keep scrolling. So you keep scrolling. So the stories, the feeds, there's so much that people are posting, people are sharing. So you keep going, they keep going, keep going. So it has no end. There's no like end of the page. No, there is nothing like end of the page on Facebook or Instagram, right? So you keep scrolling. There's always something different content for you to watch. So you have to be disciplined. As much as we are sort of, talking about the fact that, there's a lot of people online. Yes, a lot of people online. We also want to be very disciplined in when, how, and who, uses this device, right? We make sure that, we have discipline. We are being guided very well so that we don't get so glued to these devices, and then we cannot get any other thing done. Life is more than just cell phones and all these devices. There's more to life, right? Hope I've answered your question. But definitely, yes, there are a lot of advantages. I think the advantages supersedes the disadvantages. Yeah. Please, we want to address your question. So if you have any question, please comment, or we would love to even have you live here in the program live. So you can see the link in there. If you tap on the link, the HTTPS by PRW's Atlanta on YouTube, we will bring you in live into the program so we can all share. We can all be interactive here before we sign out. We'll be signing out in the next 5 minutes. So please, if you have any question, we want to hear from you. We want to make this interactive as much as possible, right? And address your concerns, any issues that you may have. I see 21 people online or so from the stream yard. I can see more people. So are we all okay? We don't have any question? We don't have any question.
Yeah, there was only one question. So
Okay, all right. If we do not have any queries, any question, yeah, the last yeah, you're welcome. I see your message over here. Um, okay. All right. So we'd like to thank you all. Thank you all for coming online, for joining us on this cybersecurity. I said cybersecurity. Our mindset to our mindset to know.
cyber above.
Cyber Bobs is here. You know, my mind is somewhere else. My mind is somewhere else. Okay, for joining this, Cyber Evangelism, a class or session. We'd love to thank you all for making time to be here. I know it's taking us almost about an hour and a half or so, more than that, over here. But I think the information that we've shared is going to be worthwhile. We're leaving you better than we found you. Um, so, oh, there's a question over here. How do you encourage people who say they don't like social media? This is a big one. This is a big one, Comfort. So, you know, yeah. So your question is understood. Yeah. So how do you encourage people who say they don't like social media in sharing, the gospel? Yeah. So we need to let people know that, our world is changing. The world that we maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago, we knew it, a lot has changed, from 2000, 2005 to 2010, 2015, 2020, 2024 now, a lot has changed. And so if you're going to hold on, right? If you're going to hold on to the old things, and then you're just going to say that, okay, no, this new stuff are not for us, you're going to miss a lot. We use a biblical reference, for that in the New Testament, right? The reason why the Israelites, the Pharisees, etc., they miss out when Jesus came, and they didn't even recognize that this is the Messiah we have been waiting for, because it was in the Old Testament that there's a lot of things that have been shared in the Old Testament, and a lot of prophecies and other things that have said, and so they were holding on to those things, and they thought that no, there is a definite way that the Messiah was going to come. There's a way that they have been taught, has been shared with them, that you should expect it to come this way. And so when it comes in any other way, they cannot accept it, you know. And so, they waited and waited and waited. And so up to today, as we may you may have heard of it, when you go to Israel, they are still waiting because they think that the Messiah is still yet to come. Why? Because as it was shared by the prophets, in the Torah, in the Old Testament, there's a way that they are accustomed to. They thought a prophet must come this way and not that way. And so social media is one of the things that our world we have embraced, and we need to adapt it. We need to learn it. We need to use it. In business, let me use the business reference as well, because I think it's going to be relevant. When social media was starting, and there was a lot of penetration around 2008, 2009, people were getting it. Some of our old folks, our fathers, our mothers, business people, they were saying, oh, as for this social media, it's for the kids, it's for the kids, it's for the kids. And they waited for more than 15, 20 years, and now is the time that they're trying to adapt to sell their product, but it is already gone, right? The boat has already left the shore, right? It's not like they cannot use it to do their business, but now they have to learn the hard way, right? There are a lot of competition, a lot of things that are the competitors that are out there. And so the earlier we learn about what is prevailing, right, the better for us. The earlier we learn about what is prevailing, the better for us. If we wait too long, we will not be relevant, but we need to move as things change. It's not like we are, like I said, I gave a very good example of the message and the medium. Nothing is changing. It's just a method that is changing, right? And we need to let people hear Jesus on that same method where they are. If they are on TikTok, we will send Jesus to them. Jesus does not change. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus does not change. Just because it's on TikTok. So yeah, if I think I've helped you. We need to adapt basically, right? We just have to adapt. Okay, all right. Yeah, Doc. All right. Greetings to you. Um, okay. All right. Anybody else? Do we have any? Let's see if we have. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. We want to thank you all for joining. Like I said, I think we will do a part two maybe later on in the near future, sometime very soon, where we'll be more practical, where I will let some of you come online, and then we will create your own YouTube channel. We will go through the process of how to create a channel, how to create some of these things practically, right? But today is just an information session, right? Tonight is just an information session, but in the near future, where we have our cybersecurity, maybe second edition, we will maybe take a deep dive, right? We'll be more practical, how to create a blog. We will use some of these emerging technologies and then help you guys how to start something, right? Online, excuse me. Yeah. Again, we want to thank you all. Collins, is there anything, any announcement, anything that
No,
you want to share?
no, I think yeah, it's been engaging. So far we've understood more than what we had earlier on. So I think that it's important that we do a follow up on this to be able to do the practical stuff that you talked about. Sometimes you just have to help people, guide them with the necessary stuff. We don't need to assume that I'll be able to do it, but being able to guide them through the process, clearing that our assumptions is very important going forward.
You see, what we are doing, this is an example of, like a podcast. You see how
Yeah,
interactive we are able to come, we're able to talk about different things and know how society, people think about different subjects, etc. This is how Monday nights, Tuesday nights, I expect, our women's, wings and the men's wing, we come online like this, so, we begin to share different topics and different subjects. That bothers us. That, we need to get involved. We should not be shy. All right. So again, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. Next time, so will come your way again, and then we'll talk about maybe we'll do the part two, right? We will definitely do the part two of the cyber evangelism, and then we'll be more practical. So thank you all, and good night.
all right. Good night, everyone. Bye.
All right. Bye.